one desires to win the lottery, one must first become the person who has already won. That state of consciousness is not something you chase, it is something you embody. The world will not shift until you shift. The ticket is not the secret, the consciousness behind it is. The numbers are not magical, they are reflections, shadows, outcomes of your internal knowing. To imagine is to create, and what you imagine vividly, emotionally, repeatedly becomes substance. You must see yourself with the winning ticket in hand, not just once, but daily. You must feel the celebration, hear the laughter, see the numbers align, not as a fantasy, but as reality that already is, waiting to express itself in this realm of time and space. The mind must dwell in the end state, not the process, not the means, but the end. See yourself already there. What do you feel when the wealth is already yours? What changes in you? What are you doing with that money? Who are you helping? What doors are now open? This is not idle daydreaming. It is the act of creation itself. You must become emotionally involved with the scene. The mind will resist. It will tell you it's not logical. It will offer statistics. It will whisper doubts. But you must silence it with persistence. Feel the certainty of the win as though it happened yesterday. Speak not of when it will come, but from the place of already having received. One cannot attract what they do not feel worthy of. Therefore, begin now by changing your self-concept. See yourself as abundant, as lucky, as chosen. Do not repeat the identity of lack. That self must die. The new you, the wealthy you, the one who holds the winning ticket, must become the only self you identify with. To imagine having one is not enough. You must live there. When you wake in that state. When you walk as the winner. When you speak, your words come from someone who is already rich. You do not ask any more, you give thanks. Not from a place of hope, but from completion. The only thing that separates the one who wins from the one who tries is belief. Not surface belief, but deep emotional conviction. You must live in the feeling of the wish. That feeling is your key. And that key opens doors the world says are locked. No event in your life is separate from consciousness. No number is drawn by chance. All that is first imagined. All manifestation is delayed imagination. If you wish to manifest money fast, you must imagine it deeply. You must feel it so strongly that your subconscious accepts it as fact. And then the world responds. The process is not to fight the world, but to forget it. Forget the facts, the bank balance, the odds. Go within. Withdraw attention from what is and give all your focus to what you choose to be. The senses will scream, the logic will debate, but the soul must stand firm in the assumption. The moment you accept this truth is the moment your life begins to shift. You will notice synchronicities, you will see signs, but do not chase the signs. They are just the outer echo of an inner movement. Keep your eyes within. Persist. Those who speak of waiting for their blessing misunderstand the nature of creation. You do not wait. You become. You do not wish. You assume. You do not beg. You embody. If you can feel rich, even when appearances show otherwise, you are no longer waiting for wealth. You are living in it. And soon the world will mirror it with uncanny precision. Money is not a goal. It is a symbol. It is the shadow of a state of being. The state you dwell in is always expressing itself through form. If you dwell in abundance, abundance must come. If you dwell in lack, lack must remain. The world is your servant, faithfully reflecting the contents of your mind. You do not need time, you need conviction. The more real your inner experience, the faster the outer world shifts. This is why it is not enough to say words. Affirmations spoken without feeling are dead. But when you speak from the heart, from the feeling, from the deep conviction that it is done, then you speak creation into being. When you wake tomorrow, Do not return to your old self. Do not check for signs. Simply return to the scene. Live there again, feel it again, laugh, celebrate. Imagine the phone call, the email, the sudden shift. Walk as though your feet are already on golden ground. Think as though your mind is already flooded with gratitude. This is how creation works. The discipline is not physical, but mental. Can you remain loyal to your inner vision even when the outer contradicts it? Can you persist in the state of the winner when no evidence has yet appeared? That is the test. And the one who passes that test receives the prize, not by magic, but by law. Creation is finished. All possibilities exist. The winning version of you already lives in imagination. Your only task is to select it and occupy it. Stay there, nourish it, protect it. Do not return to the old story. Do not share it with others. Keep the new self sacred. The more natural it feels to be wealthy, the faster you will see it expressed. And when it comes, you will not be surprised. You will say, of course, I knew this was mine. I lived this moment before it ever came. There is no secret more powerful than this. All wealth, all success, all miracles begin in the unseen and move to the seen. You are the creator of your world, not in theory, but in truth. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you assume to be yours. Therefore, choose your assumption wisely and never let go. To the average mind, the lottery is merely a game of numbers, a statistical possibility buried beneath millions of other chances. But to the awakened soul, it is something much greater. It is a reflection of one's internal alignment with wealth. The outer world operates as a mirror, and nothing appears by accident. If you believe that winning the lottery is something that happens to others, then you have already spoken your truth into creation. But if you dare to believe that it is your reality, not someday, but now, you have stepped into a law far higher than statistics, a law that responds not to numbers, but to belief. The first lesson one must grasp is this: wealth is not something you chase, it is something you allow. Money does not come because of effort alone, it comes through alignment. If you desire to manifest money, to experience what the world calls a miracle, you must go beyond reason. You must step into the realm of imagination. The one who visualizes winning the lottery with such intensity and emotion that it becomes more real than the world outside, that is the one who shifts their experience. You are not waiting for the right ticket. You are not waiting for the right time. You are learning to manifest wealth through imagination. You are using the unseen faculties of your mind to bring forth a new reality. And the only thing required of you is persistence in your inner assumption. You do not need to explain it to others. You do not need their approval or understanding. This journey is yours alone. And it begins when you drop the old identity, the one that says, I never win, or money is hard to get. That identity must dissolve before anything new can be born. The new self, the one who has already won, already celebrated, already given thanks, must take its place. When you visualize winning the lottery, do not see yourself wanting it. Do not imagine the process of buying the ticket or the stress of waiting. These are not the feelings that create. Instead, feel from the place where it is already yours. How does it feel to know your life has changed? What is the emotional atmosphere of your new reality? Do you feel light, secure, excited, peaceful? That feeling is your key. It is the vibration of the thing you desire, and it must be experienced now, not after, but now. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is experienced in the physical world. It accepts as truth what you repeatedly feed it with feeling. Therefore, the more you assume the state of the lottery winner, the more natural it becomes. It must not feel like a fantasy, but a fact. You may begin with a scene, a moment in time that represents your win. Maybe it's the exact moment you see your numbers. Maybe it's the celebration with family. Maybe it's the quiet gratitude you feel lying in bed, knowing your financial life is forever changed. Whatever it is, create it clearly and return to it often. But understand this, it is not the picture alone that creates, it is the feeling. Feeling is the secret money manifestation technique. You must not only see it, but feel it with all your senses. Involve the body, the heart, the breath. Let your imagination become an inner world, so vivid that it outweighs your outer circumstances. In time, the outer must yield to the inner, because that is the law. Many will tell you to work harder, try more, enter more often, but few will tell you to go within. Few will understand that the consciousness of wealth precedes the experience of it. They will speak of chance, you will speak of certainty. Because you are not asking life to give you something, it already has. You are now accepting what was always yours. There is no contradiction in this. You are not lying to yourself. You are aligning with a deeper reality, a spiritual truth that the world often forgets. You are assuming the feeling of wealth because you understand that all things proceed from the mind. You understand that even a lottery win, a moment so improbable, can be drawn to you by the magnet of your assumption. If you can maintain this inner state, even when appearances seem unchanged, you have mastered creation. You do not look to the world for confirmation. You do not ask the outer world for permission to feel rich. You simply feel it. And in doing so, you collapse time. You become the bridge between what is and what can be. You are not merely visualizing to feel good. You are entering into the scene to move into a new state of being. You are not hoping to win. You are living as though it is already done. This is not about pretending. This is about selecting a new self, a new version of reality, and staying loyal to it no matter what. And yes, the mind will wander. Doubts will arise. You will be tempted to return to the old self, the one who watches the draw with nervous hope. But do not entertain it. Let that self pass. Return to your scene. Return to your state. Each time you do, you are impressing a new command upon the subconscious, and it must respond. You may ask, how many times must I do this? The answer is simple, until it feels natural, when the idea of winning no longer feels distant, when the wealth feels like a quiet certainty, you will know you are aligned. And when the outer world catches up, it will feel like a remembrance, not a surprise. Money flows where the mind allows it. If your concept of self includes wealth, abundance, ease, then these must come, not because you chase them, but because you are them. The cause is always within, the effect is always without, and you are the cause. To manifest money through imagination is not to beg or wish. It is to take authority over your inner world, to shape the scene, to dwell in the mood, to live as though the thing desired is already fact. And as you do this, you will notice changes. People will treat you differently, opportunities will arise, nudges will guide you. The world will begin to shift, not because you changed it directly, but because you changed yourself. So assume the lottery win, not with arrogance, but with quiet certainty. Walk as the winner. Think from the place of wealth. Do not wait, do not check, do not need, just know. And as you continue, you will find that what once seemed impossible has become inevitable. The power was never in the ticket. It was always in the mind that dared to feel it real. To receive anything in this world, you must first feel that it is already yours. This is not a hopeful guessing game. It is an inner certainty that defines your reality. Before the world acknowledges your wealth, you must already have claimed it in consciousness. The moment you feel rich before you win, you have aligned with the essence of money, and from that moment on, money must begin to move toward you. It is not attracted to effort, nor does it respond to desperation. It flows to stillness, to belief, to the one who knows how to feel its presence without seeing its form. Everything you now possess was once invisible. It began as an idea, a thought, a feeling. The same is true for the wealth you desire. To the untrained mind, this seems foolish, but to those who understand the laws of consciousness, This is not only possible, it is inevitable. What you impress upon the subconscious mind will sooner or later externalize itself as form. The subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it does not delay, it simply receives and expresses. When you impress the feeling of wealth into the subconscious mind, you are planting the seed of money. But the seed must be nourished by repetition, by emotion, by unwavering belief. You do not plant a seed and dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust, you feel, you continue to live as though it is already so. The reason most never receive the abundance they seek is not because the world is unfair. It is because they do not know how to dwell in the vibration of abundance. They speak of money, they chase it, they even pray for it, but they do so from a place of lack. Their entire internal world is saturated in the belief that they do not have it. And so the world reflects that belief. But when you begin to feel rich without needing the evidence, something profound begins to happen. The body relaxes, the mind opens, the world bends, suddenly opportunities appear, doors open and resources flow, not because you forced them, but because you became magnetized. Your state shifted, and the outer had no choice but to follow. This is the art of creation, not through force, but through assumption. Through the silent, personal act of dwelling in the end. Imagine now what your life feels like when money flows to you easily and effortlessly, not as a wish, but as a reality. Let that feeling wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let it soften your breath, lift your posture, change the rhythm of your thoughts. In that stillness, you begin to resonate with the wealth you seek. This is where money manifestation meditation becomes more than a routine. It becomes a sacred alignment. You are not trying to attract money as though it is separate from you. You are remembering that money is a part of you, a natural extension of your state. Just as the leaves of a tree are the natural outcome of its roots, so is money the natural outcome of your assumption. To meditate upon wealth is to see yourself not needing it, but already having it. Let the images arise. You walking into a store and buying without checking the price. You giving generously to others. You opening accounts and watching them overflow. You must saturate your mind with these scenes, not once, but over and over, until they feel more familiar than the current reality. You are not waiting for permission to feel abundant. You are not checking your bank account before deciding how to feel. You are training yourself to feel first and trust that the world must catch up. Every great creation begins with this inner shift. The external only arrives to confirm what you have already accepted within. You must learn to become emotionally involved with the idea of wealth. Feel what it feels like to be financially free, not in theory, but in emotion. What does security feel like? What does freedom feel like? How does it feel to wake up knowing that your finances are no longer a burden, but a blessing? These feelings are not decorations, they are causes. They precede the physical experience. And if you should find yourself doubting, remember this: the world cannot outpicture what you have not in-pictured. If you want the outer to change, you must first change your inner conversations. Speak to yourself as the rich. Think the thoughts of someone who is already abundant. Move as they would move. Feel what they feel. Be still long enough to let the subconscious accept this new identity as truth. This is not about being delusional. This is about being devoted to the unseen until it becomes seen. There is a great difference between wishing and assuming. Wishing says, I hope one day. Assuming says, it is mine now. And the world responds to assumption. If you can sustain the feeling of already being rich, even in moments where your senses contradict it, you are standing in true power. You are no longer waiting for money. You are letting it flow to you through the bridge of feeling. This is how you program the subconscious mind for money. This is how you become a match to wealth. It will not always be easy. There will be moments when the world tempts you to return to doubt. But do not be swayed. Keep returning to the state. Keep choosing the feeling. Keep walking as the one who already possesses what they once sought. The subconscious does not respond to logic. It responds to repetition and emotional conviction. So say it softly, but say it often. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly, not with desperation, but with peace. Let that be your internal climate. Let that be the melody of your mind. Let it sing through your actions, your thoughts, your words. And one day, seemingly without warning, the world will echo that inner song. The bank accounts will rise. The opportunities will multiply. And you will not be surprised because you were rich long before the world noticed. You were wealthy in silence. You were abundant in the invisible. And the world simply followed the blueprint of your belief. The secret is not to become rich in the future, but to believe you are already wealthy now. This belief is not a trick of the intellect, nor is it a momentary affirmation spoken without feeling. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that you hold within, long before the evidence arrives. The world you see is a delayed reflection of what you consistently imagine and accept as true. So if you truly desire financial transformation, you must become what you seek within first, and the outer world will shape itself around that internal acceptance. You are not bound by your present circumstances unless you choose to be. What you call your current financial condition is simply the outpicturing of previous thoughts and beliefs, old assumptions that have materialized as the conditions you now face. But you have the power to withdraw your attention from what is and give life to what can be. This is the sacred art of assumption. When you apply the law of assumption to money, you no longer ask whether or not you will become rich. You live and think and feel from the state of already being rich. You do not need to wait for the lottery to believe you've won. You do not need the number to be drawn before you celebrate. You do not even need the money in your hand to know it's yours. All you need is to dwell persistently in the state of wealth, and the rest must follow. The unseen is the cause, the seen is the effect. If you can sustain the inner feeling of financial success, the outer must eventually conform to that inner reality. To change your money mindset is not a one-time decision. It is a moment-by-moment dedication. It means choosing again and again to see yourself as someone who is no longer in lack. It means thinking the thoughts you would think if you were already financially free, feeling the emotions you would feel, making the choices you would make. You are training your awareness to recognize abundance, even when your senses speak of limitation. This is not denial, it is discipline. It is the discipline to feel from the end, not merely to wish for it. Act as if you're rich, not for show, but for self-realization. Do not buy things you cannot afford out of ego. Instead, buy into the idea that your true supply does not come from the job, the economy, or the market. Your supply is spiritual. It is rooted in the vibration you hold and the consciousness you occupy. When you walk as someone who already possesses wealth, you carry a frequency that calls wealth to you. The money energy frequency is not something outside of you. It is the tone of your thoughts, the atmosphere of your emotions, the assumptions you entertain day and night. Every time you say, I can't afford that, you tune yourself to scarcity. Every time you think, that's too expensive, you affirm that wealth is beyond your reach. But when you begin to say, money comes easily to me, or I always have more than enough, even before it appears true, you begin to align with the frequency of abundance. You are not lying. You are reprogramming. You are speaking not from your current facts, but from your chosen truth. Abundance mindset training is not about convincing the world that you are rich. It's about convincing yourself. It's about realizing that the world is only reflecting your inner convictions. The only way to truly become wealthy is to first identify as someone who already is. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. The humble recognize that all things come from within. They do not beg for riches, they assume them. And this assumption, when sustained, becomes flesh. To believe you are already wealthy is not to ignore your bills or deny your bank statements. It is to acknowledge that what is now seen is the fruit of yesterday's thinking, and that today's thinking will bear tomorrow's fruit. So you give no power to lack. You bless it and you release it. You see it as a fading shadow, and you turn your full attention to the light, the vision of yourself as already prosperous, already provided for, already abundant. When you look into the mirror, do not see the one who struggles, see the one who thrives. When you walk down the street, do not walk as one who needs, walk as one who knows. The energy you carry speaks louder than words, and that energy is shaped by the assumptions you hold. When you act, speak, think, and feel from wealth, even in silence, you begin to vibrate in harmony with riches. The law of life responds to that vibration, and through ways both expected and unexpected, wealth begins to manifest. This is why imagination is your most sacred tool. You must train yourself daily to sit quietly, close your eyes, and enter into the state of wealth, not as a faraway goal, but as your present identity. Create scenes that imply you're already rich. Hear the voice of a loved one congratulating you. See yourself traveling, giving, investing, laughing. Make it real. Let the colors be vivid, the sounds crisp, the emotions intense. Stay there until the outer world fades. In those moments, you are planting the seeds of your future. The deeper your emotional engagement, the faster those seeds take root. If ever you feel fear, doubt, or resistance, do not fight them. Acknowledge them gently, then return to your state. You are not pretending, you are persisting. You are mastering the discipline of faith. The longer you remain in the feeling of wealth, the more natural it becomes. And what is natural must be expressed. It is not your job to figure out how the money will come. Your only task is to remain faithful to the end you have chosen. The means will reveal themselves. People will show up. Ideas will flow. Circumstances will rearrange, all in service to the state you have assumed. The world is plastic to the molding power of inner conviction. So remain steady. Do not let the facts of the moment tempt you back into lack. The one who lives from the state of already being rich will be rich. That is the law. Not because of effort or luck, but because they dared to believe before seeing. They claimed wealth in the unseen, and the unseen became seen. When you begin to understand that your mind is the source of all creation, you realize that everything in your life, whether wealth or scarcity, has been created by the inner workings of your subconscious mind. The world you see is but the projection of the inner pictures you have held about yourself and about life. If you desire money, you must first assume the state of being wealthy. It is not enough to wish for it or ask for it. The key is to vibrate with wealth now, to live as though it has already come into your life. This is how you attract money, not by trying to force it into existence, but by aligning with it in your mind and soul. Everything is energy, and that includes wealth. The universe does not differentiate between the energy of love, joy, or money. They are all frequencies, vibrations, and states of being. When you begin to consciously choose to align your energy with the feeling of abundance, you begin to create the space for wealth to enter your life. The more you focus on wealth as if it is already yours, the more you draw that wealth into your experience. This is the power of the law of attraction, but it's not simply about asking, it's about becoming. In order to create this alignment with abundance, you must shift your focus from what you don't have to what you are about to receive. The more you focus on your current lack, the more you amplify it, and the more it becomes your reality. But when you consciously direct your mind to focus on the wealth that is already on its way, you align with the energy of abundance. You begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that will manifest the money you desire. This is where the technique of visualization comes in. If you desire money, you must first see yourself as already wealthy. In your mind's eye, imagine what it feels like to have the money you desire. Picture yourself spending it with ease, traveling freely, giving generously. Imagine the sense of security, joy, and freedom that comes with being financially abundant. This is the feeling of wealth. and it must be felt in every cell of your being. This is the frequency you need to align with if you wish to draw wealth into your life. It's not just about imagining the material possession of money, it's about embodying the feeling of having it. What does it feel like to be free of financial worry? What does it feel like to never have to check your bank balance again? What does it feel like to give freely to others, to experience the joy of abundance flowing through you? You must hold on to this feeling, this vibration, as though it is already your truth. And as you do, the universe must respond by reflecting that feeling back to you in the form of wealth. When you begin to focus on the feeling of wealth and act from that place, you stop trying to make things happen. You no longer chase after money, nor do you feel a sense of lack. Instead, you move through life in a state of ease, knowing that all that you need is already on its way. This shift in consciousness is profound because it transforms you from someone who is striving for money into someone who is simply receiving what is naturally theirs. This is the true art of money manifestation. Now, your subconscious mind is the key to making this all work. You see, your conscious mind may tell you that you don't have money or that it's hard to get rich, but your subconscious mind is where the real power lies. The subconscious doesn't care whether your beliefs are based in truth or falsehood. It only responds to what you believe to be true. If you believe that money is hard to come by, your subconscious will create circumstances that reinforce that belief. But if you begin to believe that money comes to you easily, effortlessly, and in abundant amounts, your subconscious will work to make that belief a reality. This is why it's so important to retrain your subconscious mind to believe in your wealth. You must consciously feed your mind with thoughts of abundance and success. Every time you think of money, feel gratitude for the money you already have, no matter how small. Begin to feel as though you are already wealthy, and the subconscious mind will begin to mirror that feeling in your external reality. It is not a matter of how much money you have right now. It is about how much you believe you deserve, and that belief must be unwavering. One powerful technique for reprogramming your subconscious mind is through affirmation and repetition. Affirm that money is flowing to you now and say it with conviction. Feel the emotions of receiving it and immerse yourself in that feeling every single day. As you do, the subconscious mind will begin to accept this new truth, and your external circumstances will gradually shift to align with your new belief. The subconscious mind doesn't operate on logic, it operates on emotion. So when you affirm that money is coming to you, you must speak these words with deep feeling, as if they are already true. The more feeling you put behind your words, the faster the subconscious will begin to accept them. This is the essence of money manifestation, the alignment of thought, emotion, and energy with the desired outcome. But it's not just about mental techniques. It's also about changing your relationship with money. Money is not the enemy, nor is it something to be feared or hoarded. Money is simply a tool, an energy that flows into your life and provides you with the ability to experience greater freedom, joy, and contribution. You must begin to see money as a positive force in your life, one that flows freely and easily when you are in alignment with it. This shift in perspective is crucial because it removes the resistance to wealth. So many people block the flow of money because they have negative associations with it. Perhaps they think it's bad to want too much, or they believe that rich people are greedy or unspiritual. These beliefs create resistance, and resistance blocks the flow of wealth. But when you change your mindset to see money as a positive, natural force in your life, you begin to attract it with ease. And finally, remember that manifestation takes time. You must be patient and consistent with your inner work. The wealth you desire may not show up immediately, but rest assured the energy you put out into the universe is being matched by the universe itself. Keep believing, keep visualizing, and keep feeling the abundance that is on its way. The more consistently you can hold the vibration of wealth, the quicker it will manifest in your life. When you align your thoughts and feelings with abundance, You begin to see opportunities everywhere. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. You will meet people who can help you. You will come across ideas and opportunities that were previously hidden from you. All of this is a reflection of your new money mindset. As you continue to hold the frequency of wealth, money will flow to you in ways that you never expected. Your life will transform, and you will see the fruits of your inner work in the outer world. The true power to create wealth lies in the understanding that you do not have to chase after money. Instead, you must become a vibrational match to wealth. For when you align yourself with a feeling of abundance, the external world must respond accordingly. It's not a matter of trying to make money happen or waiting for opportunities to appear. The key to financial success is in mastering the art of living from the end result, living as though you are already wealthy and assuming that the prosperity you desire is already yours. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings shape your reality. When you start to feel as if you are already in possession of the wealth you desire, you begin to activate the law of assumption, which states that what you assume to be true will inevitably manifest. The key is not to beg or plead for money to come into your life, but to assume and live from the state of already having it. It is a state of knowing, of feeling, and of vibrating with success in every area of your life. When you begin to cultivate this inner certainty, your outer world must shift to match your inner assumptions. Many people mistakenly believe that wealth is something that comes from the outside through a promotion, a lucky investment, or a windfall. But true wealth, real abundance, comes from within. The universe is merely responding to your inner state of being. If you see yourself as someone who is always in need, always lacking, or always struggling to make ends meet, you will continue to attract those experiences into your life. But if you shift your self-permit and your thoughts to reflect a person who is already wealthy, the world will mirror that self-concept back to you. This is the essence of manifestation. The world reflects your inner reality. To begin manifesting abundance in your life, you must first decide to become a person who already has wealth. The feeling of wealth is not something you wait for to arrive. It is something you embody. You must feel the emotions of having money, the freedom it brings, the security, the joy. When you cultivate this feeling, you are tapping into the energy of abundance. And it is this energy that will attract more wealth into your life. Every thought, every word, and every action must be in alignment with your assumption of already being wealthy. The act of imagining and feeling yourself as wealthy is the first step. You do not need to wait for external circumstances to align before you can assume your desired state. You do not need a specific job, a certain amount of money in the bank, or a particular set of conditions. These are just external representations of your inner state, and the moment you change your internal world, the external must shift. This is the great law that governs all creation. The inner state precedes the outer expression. So if you wish to manifest money, you must first embody the state of someone who is already wealthy. The practice of living in the end is one of the most powerful tools you have. This means that you must imagine and live as though the money you desire has already come. When you look at your bank account, do not see lack or limitation. Instead, see the abundance that is already yours. Walk, talk, and think as though the money has already manifested. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the peace, the joy, and the excitement of being financially free. This is not about pretending or faking it. This is about immersing yourself in the reality of your desired outcome until it becomes your truth. As you begin to live from the end, you will notice that the world begins to shift around you. Opportunities will arise. People will enter your life who align with your new state, and circumstances will seem to magically align with your desires. This is not magic. It is the law of cause and effect. The cause is your inner assumption, and the effect is the manifestation of wealth in your life. You are not waiting for life to give you permission to be wealthy. You are deciding right now that you are already wealthy. Your thoughts, once focused on lack or scarcity, must now be focused on abundance. It's not enough to think about wealth occasionally or when it's convenient. To truly change your financial situation, you must become obsessed with the idea of wealth, not out of greed or desperation, but out of a sense of knowing that you deserve it. When you begin to flood your mind with thoughts of abundance, you will notice that your perception of the world changes. You will begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and you will feel inspired to take action in ways you never have before. Your subconscious mind is a powerful ally in the process of manifesting wealth. It does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It responds to the feelings you generate and the thoughts you entertain. This is why it is so important to consciously direct your thoughts and feelings towards abundance. You must make it a daily practice to affirm your wealth, to feel as though the money you desire is already yours, and to live as if the manifestation of your desires has already occurred. The more you saturate your subconscious mind with these thoughts and feelings, the more it will bring forth the corresponding outer conditions. But remember, manifestation is not a passive process. It requires your active participation. While the universe is always responding to your internal state, you must be willing to act as if the world you desire already exists. If you want to attract money, you must be willing to act like someone who already has it. This doesn't mean you need to overspend or make frivolous purchases. It means that you must be willing to make choices from the place of abundance, not scarcity. It means living with the confidence that money is always available to you and that no matter what happens, you will always have enough. The more you practice living in the end and embodying the state of wealth, the more it will become second nature. Your confidence will grow, and you will naturally begin to make decisions and take actions that align with your new reality. You will begin to trust that everything you need is already on its way, and you will move through the world with a sense of calm assurance that wealth is your natural state. Your mindset, your beliefs, and your feelings are the driving forces behind your manifestation. If you want to manifest money, you must change the way you think about it. Money is not something that is hard to come by, nor is it something you must compete for. Money is an energy, and just like any other energy, it flows to those who are in alignment with it. If you are not in alignment, money will flow around you, but when you vibrate with the frequency of abundance, money will come to you effortlessly. So the key to manifesting wealth is simple. Decide that you are already wealthy, live in the end result, and allow your inner state to reflect in your external world. The moment you align with abundance in your mind, you will begin to see the world around you transform. What you have assumed within must be reflected in the world without. This is the secret to attracting the wealth you desire, and it's available to you now in this very moment. In conclusion, the journey toward attracting wealth and abundance begins within you. It is a journey of transformation, of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. Money, like all things, is energy, and it is your vibration that determines the flow of this energy into your life. By mastering the art of living from the end, assuming the state of already having, and cultivating the feeling of wealth, you unlock the doors to unlimited abundance. Your subconscious mind, with its incredible power to shape your external world, responds to the images and emotions you feed it. Through visualization, affirmation, and living in the end result, you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your desires. The universe is always responding to you. Your inner state creates your outer reality. The more consistently you vibrate with the energy of abundance, the more opportunities, resources, and wealth will flow into your life. Remember, wealth is not something that is outside of you. It is already within your reach, waiting to be claimed. By changing your self-image and your beliefs about money, you create a new path toward financial freedom. Trust in the power of your mind, for it is through your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions that you will manifest the wealth you desire. The universe does not differentiate between your wishes and your beliefs. It responds to the vibration you consistently offer. So choose to live as if your desires have already been fulfilled, and watch as the world reflects your new reality. You are the creator of your life, and the wealth you seek is already on its way, just waiting for you to fully align with it.